Hello, hello, hello. I am back with another flip through of this ultimate travel list of 500 places to see. So we've been slowly going through just 50 at a time. So let's see where we left off and pick back up looking at places to travel. So this was the last page we looked at, so this will be the first. As a reminder, I include travel pictures of myself in the location if I have one. So it's not that common that I've been to all of the places, but there's a few. So let's start with 254 Davit Garea in Georgia. It's a monastery at the edge of the earth. I feel like they have had a lot of monasteries on the list, but they do seem cool. They recommend it as a day trip from Tbilisi. 255 Rhodes Old Town in Greece, an eclectic fortified post. It's in an island in Greece, and they said the new town to the north has the best shops, bars, bistros, and beaches. 256 is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, a holy heavyweight, they say, in Israel. It's the venerated as a site of Jesus of Nazareth's crucifixion, and I have been there. This was a photo of me walking in Israel on the day that we visited the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. It mentions here that the crowds and the intensity are high at these locations, and I agree. The holy locations for different religions in Israel were all very, very intense to visit, actually. So it also has the note to make sure you dress modestly in the religious sites, and I would agree. It's a good tip. 257 is Registan. This is my reminder that I'm gonna say every word wrong. Registan. It's a Silk Road plaza in Uzbekistan that they recommend. It's obviously photographed here, and it looks really beautiful. I love to see like the Islamic mosque designs like this that are so colorful, right? In a lot of like the historic sites, the color's washed away and not been replenished, but that one's really beautiful and colorful still. Okay, 258 Itsushima Jinja Gate, a towering sacred gateway in Japan, and it's photographed here. It's on a sacred island, and it's a stilted shrine, so shrine on stilts. Very beautiful. 259 the Lincoln Memorial, U.S.'s most popular monument, and I have been to the Lincoln Memorial. I just don't have a photo of myself there, but I should find one because I'm sure I have one somewhere. 260 is the Chateau de Chenauchois. It's pictured here. Wow, that's really beautiful with the archways over the water. So it's a legendary party castle. And it reads, the turrets, the supremely graceful river-spanning archways, the exquisite formal gardens. To say this place is grand would be an understatement. It does look very beautiful. And then 261 is South Luangwa National Park, in Zambia. The best kept safari secret, they say. They say safari operators minimize travel hassle, and rains can disrupt visits from December to April. So those are their tips. Oh, there we go. A couple pages stuck together there. 262 is Valley de Luna, pictured here in Chile. It's a parched desert landscape. This kind of reminds me of like southern Utah, northern Arizona, but let's read a little bit about it. Welcome to the driest place on earth. From atop a giant sand dune in the Atacama Desert's otherworldly Valley of the Moon, you'll begin to get a strong inkling of what that really means. Today, to say it's a parched and barren land would be an understatement that hardly does justice to its baking sand valleys and dusty rock formations. It's an area that struggles to record even 1 millimeter of rainfall a year, and some corners have never seen a drop. Oh, interesting. I do find deserts to be very beautiful. Okay, 263. 263 is the National September 11th Museum and Memorial. This is another location where I have been, but I haven't found a photo to put in yet. This is in New York, and it's a tribute to Ground Zero of the September 11th attacks. 264. Glaciar Perito Morena. In Argentina, it's a glacial, very theatrical glacier, it says. It is one that is currently still advancing. It moves 2 meters per day, slow and steady. 265 is Nigaloo Marine Park in Australia. So, they say this is kind of similar to the Great Barrier Reef. It's another reef that's extraordinary to visit. 266 is the Longxi Rice Terraces in China, and that's pictured here. And wow, that looks so beautiful. Like the aerial shot of that is just like, that's just like landscape terrain that is so foreign from what I'm used to. It's very beautiful. Should we read a little bit about it? Let's read about it. For hundreds of years, these 1,000-meter high terraced paddy fields remained unknown to travelers. Then everything changed in the 1990s when a photographer named Li Yashi moved here. His amazing images put the mesmerizing Longxi, which translates to Dragon's Back, firmly on the tourist trail. The fields cascade in swirls down hills dotted with minority villages that can be hiked between, or there's a cable car connecting principal viewing points. Cool. That was definitely not on my list of places to see, and now I want to see it for sure. Okay. 267 is Mount McKinley, or Denali. It's Alaska's highest point. And it is supposed to be, comparable to Mount Everest. And this is a photo from when I went on a trip to Alaska. And this is a glacier, kind of a little off of Denali. But we got to see Denali. I did not hike it, obviously. That would take a lot more skill than I have. But that was from a glacier nearby when we visited Alaska. And this is a photo from Alaska that shows the snow-capped mountain. 268 is Athabasca Glacier in Canada. Which, funny, that's me on a glacier here, but this is a glacier. I do like seeing glaciers. Glaciers are very cool. 269 is Timgad Ruins, symbol of Rome in Africa, and it's in Algeria, and it's a Roman military colony. 270 is Selous Game Reserve in Tanzania. So it has a tropical climate with a lot of greenery and a large river. That's a wildlife reserve. We recommend visiting. And I think, oh no, that's not, this one's the photo 271 is Vulcan Arena, Costa Rica. It's a volcano viewing site. And so you can explore lava trails and bike the remote roads with the volcano as your backdrop. Cool. 272 is Azurite Nature Center in Trinidad and Tobago. And that's what's pictured here. And it is known for the diversity of birds on the reserve. And I believe it says a blue-crowned mamo, maybe. It doesn't really say exactly what it is, but that's one listed here. Oh, we got a big spread. These are always beautifully photographed. 273 Parque Nacional de los Picos de Europa. And this is a haven for hikers in Spain, they say. It's off the northern coast of Spain. And it's an area that they recommend hiking and rafting the rivers. I actually do think I have been here, but just briefly, and I didn't really hike it. So I drove through the area, but I doubt that counts for this one, so I gotta go back. Gotta go back to hike it. 271 is Angel Falls in Venezuela, an inaccessible waterfall wonder. It's this big, beautiful waterfall. I watched a short film documentary recently about a female kayaker, river kayak person whose expertise was going off like crazy waterfalls. And I don't know why, but this reminded me of one of the falls that she did in that documentary. It was just insane. Okay, 275 is Yakushima in Japan. And it's a cedar carpeted hiker's paradise. And they say it looks like a Lord of the Rings forest, as it's a primeval mossy woods. Wow, I really shouldn't try to read words I don't know how to say out loud now, should I? 276 is, how do they say that? Here, I gotta try this one. Wakarenwera. I'm so sorry to the Kiwi people, but this one is located in New Zealand. And it is a geothermal wonder. So it's like geysers and boiling mud pits and steam vents. And it is an authentic Maori traditional place. Very cool. I've never been to New Zealand, but it's very high on the list, right? 277 is Memento Park in Hungary, and it's a cemetery of socialism. That's what's pictured here with this statue. It's home to 4 dozen statues and a ton of busks and plaques of notable communists, including Lenin and Marx. Interesting. Oh, pretty. 278 is Death Valley National Park in the U.S. It's in between California and Nevada. And it is where U.S. hottest temperatures can be found. And it's a really big national park, and it's usually really deserty. But what was it, last year? There was record snow and rain in the area around this, which created a lot of water here, and they had a super bloom. So there's tons of wildflowers blooming though through the whole Death Valley. It's supposed to be very cool. Okay, 279 Koh Phi Phi in Thailand. And that is pictured here. They said it's the top of every backpacker's bucket list when the beach hit cinemas in the year 2000. So it's featured in a movie. And it's a beautiful most beautiful from November to April. 280 Watmo Caves, pictured here. Watmo Caves in New Zealand, a galaxy of glowworms. Oh, I've always been kind of obsessed with glowworms. I'd love to see one in real life. Very cool. So it's about a 3-hour drive south of Auckland, they say. Okay, 281 Eden Project in Cornwall, England. Photographed here. And it's the planet's plant life all wrapped up. And it used to be an enormous clay pit, but it ran out of clay. So they imported a bunch of plants, created these huge greenhouses to host enormous rainforest biodomes. There's like a rainforest biodome and a Mediterranean biodome and all different kind of landscape biodomes. I've never heard of this, and it sounds really interesting. Okay, 282 is Kishi Prokost in Russia. Pictured here, and wow, that looks beautiful, that architecture. It makes me sad that Russia isn't a place that we will be able to ethically and conscionably travel to as tourists for a long time. At least that's my feeling. Okay, Mount Kailash, the world's most sacred mountain in Tibet. Pictured here. Very beautiful photo. I love this photo. I don't know anything about it, so let's read about it. Dominating the mythology of a billion people, just as it dominates the landscape in western Tibet, with its sheer four-sided black rock summit, Mount Kailash is one special peak. In Tibetan, its name is Kang Rinpoche, or Precious Jewel of Snow. Shrouded in mists of ancient Asia, Mount Kailash could be the world's most venerated holy place. Hindus believe that it's the home of Lord Shiva. Legend has it he practices yoga here. And myths that predate Hinduism and Buddhism speak of it as the birthplace of the whole world. For such a holy heavyweight, it draws relatively few pilgrims because of its inaccessibility, although an improving tourist infrastructure, road conditions, and an airport just a few hours away could change that. Once you've marveled at its awesome aura, make a pilgrimage to the base and complete a Kora, a circumnavigation around the mountain's base, a journey across a stark cold landscape that takes 3 days. Very cool. 284 is Rainbow Reef in Fiji, which is a coral forest that's known for its colorfulness. 285 is Te Papa Tangaway in New Zealand. It's a museum. Photographed here. 286 Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica. An old explorer photograph up here. They say it looks like the end of the world. 287 is Ras Al Jins in Oman. It's an important turtle nesting site. It's turtle nesting at the eastern point of the Arabian Peninsula. Interesting. I didn't know there were turtles there. 288 on Seivata, a fantasy city beach in New Caledonia. So it's a beach that they really recommend, and it has kite surfing and windsurfing, they say. And then 289 Kilwa Kisiwani in Tanzania, a Swahili port ruins, and that's photographed here. And it was the historic seat of a lot of sultans and a lot of travel, and it left cool ruins, I guess. Okay. 290 is Kotra Island in Yemen. The Galapagos without the crowds is how they're advertising it. And this writer is saying it's the Middle East's most otherworldly landscape. is Old Dakar in Bangladesh. They say it's like the lifeblood of the area. 292 Underwater Sculpture Park in Grenada, an eerie artificial reef art. So they put the sculptures at the bottom and rays have grown over it. Interesting. 293 photographed here. Palu Sipadan in Malaysia. And it's a diver's paradise. And 294 is St. David's Cathedral in Wales, a medieval miracle. And they say it's a purple-hued cathedral built from dusky Welsh sandstone. That actually does sound really cool. I do love an old cathedral, but I've never been to Wales. 295 is the Dead Sea, which I have been to the Dead Sea, and I've swam in the Dead Sea, so I should find a photo from that to put in here. I did that on a trip to Jordan, and it was extremely cool. One of the cool things about swimming in the Dead Sea is because it has such a high salt concentration, you're way more buoyant than you are in normal water. So you can kind of like sit in the water, like cross your arms and like your legs and like sit that way. It's very interesting to do. Do not get in the water if you have any scratches or anything where salt in a wound would hurt. That would be my recommendation. 296 is Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. I have a friend who's visiting Kilimanjaro right now, and I'm very jealous. I've never been there. 297 is Cologne Cathedral in Germany, photographed here. This beautiful bridge leading to this cathedral. And they're saying that it just is a spectacular sight, and that you can climb one of the spiral staircases to a viewing platform. 298 is Drakensberg Amphitheater in South Africa, a land of cliffs and canyons, they say. It's a natural rock area. And then 299 is Parque Nacional Cotopaxi in Ecuador, and it's a ice and volcano landscape. So snow-capped summits and active volcanoes. That does sound very cool. Okay, and that's our 50. With that, we'll pause at 300. We're more than halfway through the book, so I hope you've been enjoying as we flip through the pages of this travel book. I'll be back with more. However, you may have noticed I've been posting a little sporadically this month, and that will continue. I'm traveling quite a bit this month, so I'm just posting when I can. We're just having fun out here. So please subscribe if you would like to see